Hey everyone, how are you doing this afternoon, morning, or evening, depending on where you are? My name is Makeda Valletta, and I'm live on my IG page, The Body Scientist. I will save it and repost it to my YouTube. In case you are unfamiliar with me, I have a background in nutrition, exercise and sports science, and I've committed my life to studying all the ways we can take our body to its highest level. I'm also a sacred sexual educator, a birth worker, just everything in the realm of high level physical performance. And so, what's up, D? So, I want to have a conversation today about the effect that vitamins A and D have on erections and wetness, vaginal health and wetness. So you could say WAP for woman, and erection, penile health, and sperm health. Okay, so those of you who follow me, you know that I'm a huge believer in traditional foods. I'm a believer in sourcing things naturally. Okay, and I'm always talking about the importance of animal fats. All right, I did a video recently talking about the effect that cholesterol has on I did a video on the role that testosterone plays in the sex drive of men and women. And if you haven't seen that video, feel free to check it out. I'm surprised that video got 46,000 views. So I'm like, that must be a topic people are really interested in, okay? I talk about all kinds of health things, but it seems that sex sells, and that's what people want to hear more about, okay? Erectile dysfunction is becoming more and more common, all right? And also, with women, you have vaginal dryness issues and vaginal atrophy issues after menopause, like during and post-menopause. Also, a lot of times after a woman has had a baby, same thing, that can happen, right? And so, just like with every imbalance and condition in the body, our nutrient stores and nutrition plays a huge role, all right? So, again, for those of you who aren't familiar with my previous work and things that I've spoken about, cholesterol is extremely important. All of our sex hormones are made from cholesterol, so that's estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, our stress hormones like cortisol, all made from cholesterol. Vitamin D, okay, which is actually a hormone and not a vitamin. Vitamin D is also made from cholesterol. Okay, I have several videos where I go into depth about vitamin D. So even when people say, oh, you can get vitamin D from the sun. Yeah, but you still need adequate cholesterol in your blood for that to happen, and probably on your skin, okay? So understand that, all right? So this is why we don't want to do low cholesterol diets, and it's known that people that get put on cholesterol-lowering medications, a lot of times probably 9 times out of 10 end up having erection issues, okay? And just hormonal imbalances in general, all right? There's a lot of myths around cholesterol. I will do a video soon specifically about cholesterol. I did one probably like a decade ago, or I don't know, maybe like 7 years ago. But I'll do an updated one. I will do an updated one soon. But in the meantime, you can definitely feel free to check out the book, or go on YouTube and type in the cholesterol myth, okay? And you can do your own research, type in the cholesterol myth. You'll find tons of doctors and scientists speaking about that. You can also check out the work of Sally Fallon, okay? And just check the books that I post on my Instagram page. The Big Fat Surprise is another really important book. But please understand, okay, if you want to keep your hormones intact, and that is for men, you want to keep your testosterone levels up. For women, you want to keep your estrogen levels and everything just balanced. Estrogen and testosterone is important for men and women. But if you're not eating enough animal fats and cholesterol, you can have serious imbalances, all right? So vitamin D is important for so many things, okay? We know it modulates the immune system. We have vitamin D receptors on every tissue in our body, okay? So vitamin D modulates almost everything in every system in our body. Almost every chronic disease has some connection to vitamin D deficiencies, all right? And I'm going to be talking about some case studies as well, But I'll probably keep a lot of the case studies from my OnlyFans page. And when I talk about, case studies, like I've worked with a lot of people over the years, right? And I do in-depth evaluations. And a lot of times people are dealing with 3-4 different things. And they're all related to one particular nutritional deficiency. But because the medical community is not trained that way, they're not trained to understand nutritional deficiencies and toxicities. They don't ever think that, So you could be having 3 different issues going on and not understand is linked to one nutritional imbalance, right? So this is where case studies can become relevant to understanding that. So when it comes to vitamin D, there are studies that have demonstrated that vitamin D improves the growth and differentiation of vaginal epithelial cells, okay? And it also improved vaginal pH, okay? And decreased vaginal dryness in menopausal women. Now, the vagina's pH needs to be low, okay? So despite all this propaganda of an acidic environment is a breeding ground for disease, that's a lie, okay? An alkaline environment is the breeding ground for disease, especially in the vagina and in the stomach, okay? Where it needs to be extremely acidic, okay? The vagina needs to have a very low pH. If you don't understand pH, when you go under 7, that's acidic. When you're above 7, that's alkaline, okay? So vitamin D and also help with growth and differentiation of the epithelial cells. And the vaginal canal is lined with epithelial cells. A healthy vagina is wet, but it's also thick, and the epithelial cells are strong. As a woman starts to lose estrogen, she's going through menopause, maybe she has had a baby, and the estrogen levels decrease significantly, her vagina can thin out and dry out. And then sex becomes extremely painful, okay? Vitamin D vaginal suppositories are good, and they've also shown to help with the maturation index. So the maturation index, again, is a young vagina, okay, is meaty, it's moist, and there's ridges in the vaginal canal, okay? The vagina of a woman who's postmenopausal, the ridges are gone, the muscle becomes thin, and it becomes dried out. So vitamin D suppositories have been shown in studies to help prevent that. Now, for me, again, I never believed in taking artificial vitamins, right? So the way I would get vitamin D into my diet is through foods. When you look online, you constantly see people tell you that you can't get vitamin D from foods. They say hardly any foods are rich in vitamin D. And then they tell you to take vitamin D supplements, which are a fake artificial form of the vitamin. And it's not accompanied with the necessary fat, vitamin A, and other cofactors necessary, because for every unit of vitamin D, you need a unit of vitamin A. They work together. And that's why I'm going to talk about the role that vitamin A and D play on erections and vaginal health, right? But they're always telling people to take artificial supplements or consume fortified foods. You can get vitamin D. The richest sources of vitamin D is liver, okay? Cod liver oil, okay? Liver and liver, all right? And if you're of a certain age, you were given liver as a child. If you're of a certain age, you probably like liver, okay? I don't care where you're from in the world. Liver, number 1. After that is fish eggs, pork fat, okay? So lard. Now, of course, I'm always talking about stuff from local farms. I'm not talking about commercial food industry. Liver, I'm not talking about commercial food industry. Cod liver oil, I'm not talking about commercial food industry. Lard and pig fat. But when you're getting it from a healthy pig from a farm, it's an excellent source of vitamins A and D, as is grass-fed butter and ghee. Ghee more so than butter, because ghee is just pure butter fat, right? Also shellfish and fish eggs. Those are the best sources of vitamins A and D. Okay, so there are ways that I would assemble a suppository without using fake vitamin D. And I'm going to get more into that on my OnlyFans page. Okay, so on my OnlyFans page, onlyfans.com /The Body Scientist, I'll be going more into depth in this. Okay. But the thing is just like when you hear me talk about the skin, the same things is good for you to eat. Like you need to consume vitamin D and A, but it's also good topically. That's the reason why I mix animal fats in my skin moisturizers, right? I don't just use shea butter and cocoa butter and oils, all plant-based, because vitamins A and D is only in animal foods, and vitamin A and D are really important for skin health too. It's important for everything, but vitamin A and D is critical in the optimal function of your immune system, and your skin is a part of your immune system, right? But also vitamin A helps with skin turnover, helps your skin be more beautiful and radiant. That's why you see retinol in dermatological products, but retinol naturally occurs in the foods I just mentioned. Also in lanolin, in tallow, okay? So I wouldn't cook with lanolin, but I do mix it with other fats and put it on my skin, okay, on my scalp. Tallow, lard, lard, all good sources. Okay, so menopause is associated with a decrease in estrogen, as we know, and that negatively affects the vaginal mucosa. It causes atrophy, irritation, and dryness. And the vaginal mucosa, okay? Vitamin A. The role that vitamin A plays in the immune system, okay? Vitamin D helps to modulate everything. Vitamin D acts as a hormone. It binds to vitamin D receptors, which we have in every tissue in our body. But vitamin A is responsible for the integrity of the mucous membranes, okay? For the integrity of them, for the proper functioning of them. And again, despite a lot of the propaganda that has been put out there, especially by pseudo-scientific, pseudo-Afrocentric, fake Afrocentric black people who are speaking about health and have no idea what they're talking about, like the Sabies of the world, mucus is not the root or cause of disease, okay? And mucus is actually a part of our immune system, okay? It's a part of our immune system. And milk is not mucus, because again, milk nourishes babies, so why would babies of any breed be drinking mucus? Okay, so let's just get over that. But mucus is a part of our immune system. When people are overproducing mucus, if you're overproducing mucus where you're choking on it, then something is haywire and something is really irritating you, right? The mucus is trying to get it out. It's your immune system acting. Now your immune system is overacting. So now the person will have to figure out why that is and fix that. The mucus itself is not the cause of disease. Okay? Now a healthy amount of mucus, because when the vagina is lubricated, what is it? It's liquid being released from the mucous membranes. So a vitamin A deficiency can cause a dry vagina. Okay? And I have known women who went on a vegan diet and they talked about how their vagina dried out, and people don't talk about that. Okay? Instead, you see all the propaganda saying vegans taste better and all this other stuff, which is crazy, because I'm sure no man is going to Brazil or Dominican Republic where they eat lots of meat or an African country or somewhere in Europe where they eat lots of meat and saying these women don't taste good because they're not vegans. That's ridiculous, okay? There are risks with estrogen creams, okay? So when women are going through menopause or they're postmenopausal and they're using estrogen creams and fake estrogens, there are risks with them, just like there are risks with fake vitamins, okay? That's why I always say get it from nature. Get it from nature, okay? Epidemiological data has shown that vitamin D deficiency is also associated with erectile dysfunction. Okay, vitamin D is critical for a healthy body and healthy sexuality and sex drive. Okay, and sex performance. Okay, now again, your sexual performance. Okay, for men that's erections, that is sperm quantity and quality. For women, it is vaginal wetness, decreased pH, thick vaginal muscles. All of that, your sexual performance and your body's ability to perform is linked to your overall health. We all know when people have chronic health conditions, a lot of times they have no libido, okay? A healthy person is going to have a libido, or their organs aren't working, okay? A woman's having dryness issues, the sex is hurting, a man is having erection issues. Those are also indicative of other health problems going on with the body. Okay? So, and vitamin D is a promoter of keratinocytes, keratinocyte differentiation. Okay? So that is like skin cells differentiating. Okay, so differentiation in biology means that we have all kinds of cells. We have skin cells, brain cells, eyeball cells,